and I'm here to talk to you tonight about my personal exercise program. Now, to do this, I want to start off first of all by talking about the preparation that went into this to develop this program. Then, I'd like to get into the execution of how I went about the program and what it was like. And thirdly, I'd like to do is take you through the maintenance of the program. So when it's over, it's like, well, what happens then? That's what I'll tell you at the end. So wait till we get there. Let's start at the beginning though, the preparation. Now in the preparation of this particular program was, I had to figure out, well, what exercises am I going to do? I mean, I looked at upper body, you know, like upper body is weightlifting, and I was swimming, and I'm like, well, I got that, that's okay. Then I was thinking lower body with my legs, and I'm like, well, I'm already running and jogging and biking, and I'm like, I already got that. And then I looked in the mirror, and I looked and I said, oh my gosh, you need a change. Right in the middle, called the core. You say, right here, I'm going, You can at least lose about an inch here, you know? And I said, well, why don't you make your goal an inch and about 10 pounds? If you can do this, it will be a change. Well, I took it very sincerely and said, okay, with that in mind, I don't know much about the core because I haven't done it in so long. And I thought, well, I'll get one of those DVDs, you know, that they already do them. Why waste my time researching? So then I saw one on TV. It was called T25. Now, I don't know if you've heard about it, but let me tell you, I'm watching that commercial, and it goes 25 minutes a day. That's it. And you can look like this. And that's what they show you, those pictures of people before and after, you know what I mean? And I said, well, 25 minutes? That sounds good. I mean, that's about the time it takes you to change your clothes and, you know, drive over to the gym. Why not try it? So I did. I figured, well, I'm going to order that. And I looked at it further, and I'm going, there's 5 weeks at Alpha, and then you do it Monday through Friday, and then if you do good at that, you get to graduate to Beta, which is harder. 5 more weeks of exercise. So with this, you like that, huh? Okay, with this in mind, I said, okay, now that I have it, I put it on order, where am I going to do it? So then I looked at my garage and said, I could put a TV here and a DVR right here, put it in, you know, and just put a mat on the floor. This is all the space I need right here, okay? So I'm good to go. Now let's see, when am I going to do it? Well, either I wake up early and do it before work, or after I get home from work, I do it. There you go. So I went, okay, that's my preparation. I got a program. To execute this, I got to wait for the DVDs in the mail. Only a few days went by, and they come. Now I talked to my wife and said, hey, babe, what do you think? You want to do this too? I mean, you know, it's a good thing. It's exercise, it's variety. And she agreed that, hey, this might be a good thing for her too. So we looked at the first DVD, the first exercise program on Sunday night. And we're watching it on the TV, and I'm just ready to start this on Monday. And I'm watching, and I'm going, oh my gosh. I haven't done those exercises in 10 to 15 years. And babe, those new exercises we're looking at, I didn't know our body could do that. Really? I was supposed to do all that, and we're starting tomorrow? I'm like, this is exhausting just watching this thing, much less doing it. So anyway, Monday after work, I come home, and I put in the DVD, and I'm going to try my best to do it. And I said try, because half of the exercise I couldn't do. I hadn't done them in so long. I was just trying to just make it through it, you know? And the thing was, is you're watching this, and they go through these steps and these motions, and you're going, I think I got it. And then they change the exercise. You're like, wait a minute, I finally got that. Why'd you change? But it did. And it was every day a different program. So it wasn't like you could learn it in a few days. Every day was different. And I'm like, wonderful. 2 weeks go by, and I'm like getting sweaty every day, but I feel like I'm surviving this. I don't really feel like I know it. I don't know half the steps or anything. And then all of a sudden a friend at work says, hey Chris, listen, I got the program too. Do not quit, no matter what. Just do not quit. And I thought about it and said, well, I started it, commit to it. So, will that change attitude? In the 3rd week, things changed. And then I realized, you know what? I started to do exercises that I hadn't done it in years. And then I could start stretching, because every time you did it, you got a little better. And then I found out my endurance was increasing. And then I realized that the things that they say that are actually taking part of your body as you do it, It really does take place little by little. You just have to be, you're being rewarded like every day. It's like, okay, what is it today I'm gonna be able to do I couldn't do last week? So it's like rewards, and this went through the 3rd week, the 4th week, and then the 5th week, which was the hardest week, and they tell you if you can't do the 5th week, don't even think about going to beta. You'll die. Not really. You'll just be totally exhausted and you'll just be devastated. So I said, you know what? It was like going from 0 to 60 doing alpha. You know, 0 to 60 miles an hour. And I'm like, I don't want to do that again. How about I do the hard week all over again? So I did. I did the hard week going, I'll get ready for beta. And then beta took place. And I finally took day 1. I was cringing going, I don't even want to look at it. So I didn't even preview what I was going to do. I just plugged it in and said, go for it. And you know what? It wasn't that bad. Because 60 or 80%, I think it was, of the exercises I learned in alpha, and I already knew how to do. It was just faster, they didn't give you any breaks, and I had to learn 20% more. So I went from 0 to 60 miles an hour in alpha. It was really only about 60 to 70 in beta. I'm going, oh, I'll survive this, I can do it. So I did it week after week, 5 weeks went by. And I finally did the hardest week of beta and made it through that. And I said, you know what? And I said, I'm going to do is try to do the hardest week alpha in the morning, and then the hardest week of beta in the afternoon. And so I did. And what happened with that was I survived. And my progress was that 1 inch I said I wanted to lose turned into 3. The 10 pounds turned into 22 pounds. Now, some of you are thinking, how do you maintain that? Well, I had 10 programs to choose from to do it. I could take the variety, it's only 25 minutes. I proved I could do them all. It doesn't matter what order you do them in. You just pick and choose when you do them. Now I'm thinking, there's the maintenance program. As simple as that. But some of you are thinking, yeah, but weren't you on some kind of diet when you did this? And I say to each and every one of you, I was. But you know what? For those that were here, you'll remember that I covered that in my last presentation.
I thought I was going to be a little more worn out after watching this. But I think that this might be an appropriate time for me to read this poem that was in the paper the other day. And if you could just close your mind, especially you guys in the